In today's video, we're going to be unboxing the iPad mini. But here's the deal. We're going to be taking a look at the iPad mini in 2025 and why it might not be the best deal for you in 2025. It's 7 potential deal breakers that I definitely see someone having buyer's remorse for, and I'm going to go over those 7 with you. And I'm also going to share with you the 3 reasons why I decided to pick it up, irregardless of those 7. Let's get to it. All right, so let's open it up and take a look at it. Just for your reference, I do have the 512, and this is a Wi-Fi and cellular. You know, you gotta love Apple for this easy to get in the box style unboxing without having to use a knife and all that other stuff. All right, and that is the iPad mini right here. We can set it to the side for a second. And this is what comes in the box. You can see we have some documentation. We have a nice braided cable. I like that a lot, actually. We have a USB-C. Honestly, I'm not going to use this stuff because, as you know, I'm a big fan of Ugreen to keep it simple. We have some documentation, and that's all that's up in the box. No more stickers. I think they long stopped doing stickers a long time ago, because now that I think about it, I don't think I got a sticker when I got my new iPad or my Mac. So let's put this to the side. And this is the new iPad mini right here. You can see that this is actually engraved. It says, "Face your fears, then go do it anyway. Will you pay the price for success?" is the question. So I'm not sure if you can see it, but that's what it says. You know it's the new one because it says mini on it. So as you can see, the very first deal breaker for some people would be the form factor hasn't changed at all. I have the iPad mini 6 and it looks just like this. So if you wanted a different form factor or you wanted to level up in that instance, the form factor hasn't changed for a lot of people. They was looking for a refresh in design, and you're not going to get that with the iPad mini 7. So we're going to power it on. And this is the welcome screen. And the next deal breaker for some people is you're not getting that Face ID. You're getting touch. So a lot of people wanted Face ID, and unfortunately, that wasn't possible. So off camera, my phone picked it up. So what I'm gonna do is, actually, I'm gonna grab my iPad mini. You know what? I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna set this up as a new one. So we're gonna set it up because there's some things on my old iPad that I just don't need anymore. So set up without another device. I'm going to quickly find my Wi-Fi network. I'm going to log into it really quickly. I'm going to join, and now we can see that I am logged in. This setup may take a few minutes. So while this setup is going on, what I want to talk to you about is number 3, which is the Nits brightness. So if you look at the max brightness on here, it's only 500 nits. We would have liked to seen a refresh on that, but we did not get it. And as you can see, here's Touch ID right here, which again, a lot of people wanted Face ID to make it easier to get in. For me personally, honestly, I understand why people want Face ID, but from someone who has Face ID on my iPhone, and sometimes I can't get into my apps because Face ID isn't working based off of an update, I'm not really overly concerned about not having Face ID, if I'm being honest. So I'm going to say continue. I don't want to add another finger right now. So I can say back. I'll say set up myself. I'm going to pick a password really quickly. All right. Now that I've picked a password, it's doing this thing, connecting. And I'm going to say don't transfer anything over. The reason why I don't like to transfer anything over from my old devices is because I find that with my old devices, I got a lot of clutter on there that I don't need anymore. And for me personally, I'd rather download apps as I hit a wall and say, "Oh, what happened to that app?" Or "I don't got this on there." then I'll go install it. But starting out, I like to keep it bare bone and only install my essentials, okay? So it says, I guess, other sign up. Use another device to sign in. Exit setup. If I bring my iPhone close by it, I could say get started. And I guess I can hover over that and it continue on your iPhone. Guess it's going to set me up. You gotta love Apple. Like, this is the part people don't talk about when it comes to Apple. Like, they make it drop dead simple to get your stuff in and to get you up and going as quick as possible. So right now it's signing me in, and this probably gonna take a few seconds. So as you can see right here, it says make this your new iPad. So I can transfer things over. I can say continue. It's gonna go through some stuff that I'm probably gonna have to skip. But while we're taking a look at it, I really like this screen. However, one of the deal breakers for some people is while they did fix the jelly roll, so you're not dealing with a lot of jelly roll anymore, it's a lot less noticeable. You still don't have that 120 refresh rate like you have on your iPhone and things like that. So I'm gonna say set this up later. I can actually say transfer your cellular plan. I want to transfer it from my iPad mini 6th generation. I'm going to say continue. I'm going to say transfer. Confirm transfer on your other iPad. Okay, so let me go grab that really quickly. Okay, so here I am back with my other iPad. So I'm going to click transfer sim. I'm going to say okay. And like I said, this is the iPad mini 6 right here that I'm coming from. Says double click to confirm. And this is the iPad mini 7 right here. So I'm going to say continue. So this iPad should no longer have built-in data cellular, and this one should have built-in cellular now. So I can close this one out. The next deal breaker that a person might not like, which is number 3, is there's no OLED or mini LED updates on here. So you, in essence, is getting the exact same screen that I got from my iPad mini 6. Then if we take a look at it, because it's the same form factor as the iPad mini 6, that means that for number 2, battery life might be a deal breaker for you. You're not getting any big bumps in battery life. As you can see, it's set up now, so I can say continue. I'm gonna do all of this later. Now, in my personal opinion, the number one reason why somebody might not switch over to the iPad mini 7, especially a content creator, is because you got the A17 Pro chip up in here, which is the same chip that's in the iPhone 15 Pro Max. So I would have liked to see them put a new chip up in here, or at the very least give us the same chip that's in the iPhone 16 Pro Max. But they didn't do that. We a chip step down. So that for me might be the number one deal breaker. But coming from the iPad mini 6, you're still getting a 30% bump in CPU and a 25% bump in graphics. So you'll still see a noticeable difference, especially when it comes to doing like little video edits or little bitty, projects in Affinity Photo or things like that, because that's what I mainly use it for. So that's the reason why, I felt like it was still worth it. Yes, I would have liked a more powerful chip. I was honestly hoping that they would bring the M1 chip to the iPad mini, but obviously they didn't do that. So, you know, we don't got that. But those are the top 7 reasons why the iPad mini might not be for you in 2025. And it might be a better option for you to jump out there and grab the iPad mini 6. So as we continue setting it up, we can see that Apple Intelligence is here, which brings me to the very first reason why I decided to get the iPad mini 7, which is for Apple Intelligence. Now, I hear you already screaming in the comments that Apple Intelligence is trash and is nowhere near what Apple promised us in their keynote. And I 100% agree with you. But this is also Apple. So we know that Apple, they'll launch and they'll refine it over time, and we'll look up one day and it becomes the best. So I wanted access to that technology early on. So I'm gonna say not now with that. I don't mind sharing my audio recordings. I'm gonna say get started. And here we are inside the iPad Mini 7. Now, as you can see, it's literally no difference between this and the screen resolution in the 7 and the 6 rather. And the other reason why I got this is I have an iPhone 14 Pro Max. So with my iPhone 14 Pro Max, I don't rush out to get the latest, greatest technology when it comes to the iPhone, mainly because I find it very cumbersome to have to transfer over my phone stuff every single transfer. Plus, for me, my phone isn't my primary device. My iPad is. So I would have much rather upgraded to the iPad Mini 7, got that bigger screen, have Apple Intelligence. Yes, it's a step down from the CPU, but I'm okay with that because the trade-off for me is worth it for the bigger screen. The last and final reason why I decided to get the iPad Mini 7 is because for me, this is a productivity tool. I mean, if you look at anything that I have, everything, every piece of video, every piece of content, everything that I do starts on the iPad Mini. And I don't care if you're giving me a 5% bump in CPU and a 5% bump in graphics. Honestly, the graphics on here, the graphics on my iPad Mini 6 was more than enough for me to be able to use Infinity Photo, do some light editing and LumaFusion, and get my shorts out when I needed to do it. So I never had a problem with the graphics. The CPU on my iPad Mini 6 was always a bottleneck for me. That was the issue for me. I wanted faster export times, and I wanted my stuff to stop lagging so much. So I'm hoping because it got the A17 Pro chip up in here now, I'll be able to do more. It should be able to stay a little bit cooler because it's a bigger overall device. So hopefully the cooling is a little bit better on this one. But with that said, this is why I picked up the iPad Mini. I have a few more items that I picked up to go with this. So let's take a look at them. First thing I'm going to do is we're going to just clean off this screen because I got fingerprints on it because we're about to put a screen protector on there because again, for me, the iPad Mini is based around productivity and is not so much based around me just having it for media consumption because I can be literally chilling in a line and I'll break out my iPad Mini if I'm sitting somewhere and I'll look at what I need to get done and maybe I need to write a article for the video for YouTube, or maybe I need to start editing a thumbnail, or maybe I need to start doing mock-ups, or maybe I need to, capture some information in Notion or go over my task for the day. All of that stuff for me is done on my iPad Mini. I do not bring out my M4 iPad or my laptop and stuff like that because sometimes I want to be locked into what I'm doing and this does it for me. So I got this case right here. This is from Paperlike. This is for the iPad Mini 2021 and 2024. So I'm going to open this up, which it kind of sucked because I had one of these already. I just didn't know what I did with it. So as a result, I had to rebuy it. So we're going to put that right there. And this is everything that come in a box or a package rather. This is from Paperlike. This is a nice, I like this. This is nice. I like this one better, but I like Paperlikes too, so we'll use Paperlike. Needless to say, this is not a sponsored video for Paperlike. I feel like I gotta say it, although you can look at my channel and see that I'm a small channel, so it's not a sponsored video. Oh, wow. I like this way better than that gray one. Okay. Okay, Paperlike, I see you. So, yeah, this definitely is better. Another thing people complained about was the bezels. Honestly, for me, if you look at my hand, I appreciate having a bezel here so I'm not putting fingerprints all over the screen. Now, some people don't like it, some people do, and I guess it just comes down to which person you are. Let's make sure I read the instructions. For change, it says get detailed application instructions. It says remove this foil. There's Paperlike side. Oh, okay, Paperlike side. So basically this, I'm assuming this is the side I'm gonna be writing on. So it should go on like that, is what I'm assuming. So I can get it set up just the way I want it. And then I can grab these over here. And I've never really been good with this, if I'm being honest, but maybe today that'll change. I'm gonna grab some more of these little sticky things. And basically the concept is to make it like a door that you swing open after you get it just the way you want it on here. All right. So right there is my camera. If I look, I kind of feel like that's where I would want it. We're gonna lift this up right quick. Make sure it's not sticking yet. Make sure it's right by the camera. All right, it is. So now if we can get this to sit just like this, that would be perfect. So now I'm going to pull this back like a door hinge. I'm going to, I don't really feel like I need to use this, but for the sake of being thorough, we'll just use it. Maybe it helps it from sticking or something, I don't know. So we're gonna wipe it down really quickly. And that's that. Now I'm going to wipe it off. Again, I'm not a professional at this, but this is how I do mine. And for the most part, it'd be okay. Now I'm going to peel this. I'm gonna do my best not to put my fingers on it, as you can see. Then, see here, actually that's perfect. So now, just want to stick this on. Probably would have been better if I had a card, but hey, it's okay. And now that it's done, I can lift these up off my iPad and I can peel this, and there we have it. I do see a few bubbles up in here that I'll go back and fix later with some type of card, but for the most part, I'm happy with it. You can instantly see that putting that Paperlike on it allowed you to see my iPad without the glare. So if you was concerned about glares, as you can see now, you can see my iPad and it looks pretty good actually. I guess we could test out the internet just to see if I'm connected to the internet. And let's make sure I'm not on Wi-Fi. And let's go Google. Yep, my internet is up. And now I have a few more things to bring this home. And by the way, I'm pretty happy how well that went, because usually I mess it up and I just skip that whole part together. But next thing I want to show you is the case. Now, this is a very, very cheap case. As you can see, it says for iPad mini 2024/mini 6. I could have used the iPad mini case that I had over there, especially seeing as how this iPad case is the exact same one I got. And I'm going to explain to you why I got this one. So if we open this up, we can take a look at the case. It's nothing super crazy about it. It's very, very simple. So I could just grab this and drop it in there. And as you can see, it works just fine. Everything is where it's supposed to be. No issues. Now, the reason why I got this case is for this one thing right here. I can't tell you how many times I've lost the Apple Pencil, and it's frustrated me to no end. Or how many times I had to dig around in my bag for an iPad for my Apple Pencil. So these days, I like the cheaper cases because they have a pencil holder. If Apple came out with a case that had a pencil holder, I would be more than happy to get those, because these are like 10 to 12 bucks depending upon when you look at it on Amazon. And these get old and they wear and tear fast. So you got to keep buying them to keep your iPad looking good. Or maybe that's just me, but I like for my tech to look good. So I find myself constantly replacing this type of case. And since it's so inexpensive, it's not that big of a deal to me. All right, so The very last thing that I got for this is a pencil. This is the pencil I got. It is the Apple Pencil Pro. This is the same one that I have for my iPad M4. So I wanted to keep it the same, and I do understand that I could have just purchased a whole I could have been swapping them out. But honestly, I just didn't want to do that. So I just grabbed me another iPad Apple Pencil for this specific device. As usual, you got the documentation inside the box, and we can put this back. Okay, so we can put the Apple Pencil in now. We can see that it actually attached. I only got it set up for one finger. I usually have it set up for both fingers. But we can see now is the Apple Pencil is registered. We can try some things. I can say continue. I can say add Apple Pencil to Find My, because these Apple Pencil Pros allow you to add it to Find My, which is pretty cool if you accidentally lose one. So I really like that. And honestly, that is the iPad Mini 7. That's what I got for it. This is going to be what I take with me, like literally, even if I don't take any piece of tech with me, this you'll always see on me. You'll never catch me without my iPad Mini on me, unless, you know, my girl just said, hey, no tech, or it's something important where I don't want to be distracted or something like that. But other than that, I'm definitely going to have my iPad Mini 7 on me at this point. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Is the iPad 7 worth it in 2025? For me, it is. For you, it might not be. It might not. It just depends on what you want to use it for. If you're only using it for a consumption device, then I would absolutely say, no, it's not worth it. You can do the iPad Mini 6. They're super cheap right now, and you can buy them used for a little bit of nothing. If you need it for editing thumbnails or doing some video creation or something like that, simple projects, very, very simple projects, then you will benefit from the bigger screen and all that other stuff. So with that being said, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, my name is Will. Give me a thumbs up. And my goal here at Will Talk Tech is to simplify tech for you. Till next time. Later.